We need to look at SME development. See, whenever you fund a huge foreign investor, the money is going out of the country. When you fund SMEs, you are growing the foundation of your own economy. And these become the reliable taxpayers of the future. Because every Zambian who makes money wants to continue investing in Zambia and is not taking the money out of the country. The role of the private sector is not to do the job of government. You all pay your taxes. We have a budget we have just approved, 2025 national budget. There's money there saying a government worker shall be paid this amount of money. Where is it going to come from? It's coming from ZRA, the taxes that the private sector are paying. So make sure you tax the private sector properly. Make sure you tax the private sector and at the same time you give them the services for which you are taxing. There's no point in saying we are taxing you road levy and then there are potholes in the road. We are taxing you security levy, the street lights are not working. So as a government, it must be mutually beneficial, and you find that your private sector are paying taxes and they are financing your budget.
So the G20 is a collection of 20 members, 19 countries plus the EU. And critically, they meet about once a year to discuss pertinent issues surrounding global development. So these 20 members represent 85% of the global economy. 85% of over $300 trillion is represented by 20 members. Put that in perspective, the concentration of wealth that is represented in that meeting of 20 members. Those are the people that decide the direction in which the entire globe will go. When the G20 decides on what funding priorities will be, CSOs within their countries decide what they're going to fund. Developmental partners like the UN decide where the money is going to go based on the direction that the G20 goes in their discussions. So it's important to pay attention when we have these kinds of discussions. And one of the pertinent discussions they're having this year is highly indebted countries, particularly Africa. Because it's not only Zambia that's going through it, it's Africa as a whole. And we've been going through it since basically the 60s, since most of us got our independence.
The monies will have to go towards debt service. So that acts as a deterrent to investments. So hence we were struggling to get, a debt restructuring deal. And I think the only framework that was feasible, or that seemed to be something that would help us deal with this debt, was the G20 Common Framework. The G20 Common Framework offers to treat our debt despite the complexity that it had, because it had, like I did mention, private creditors from China, we had bilateral creditors, and so there was this mix. So how do we deal with this mix? So that's where the G20 Common Framework, it's a new framework, it's a new treatment mechanism. So Zambia is actually the first country in Africa that is going through debt treatment using the G20 Common Framework.
Isn't it frustrating to know that the same people who came and stripped us of our resources about 180 years ago are the same people still deciding where the resources that we are generating are going to go? It's extremely frustrating, isn't it? But the reason why they're able to do that, the reason why they're able to command that much power is because they have found a way to balance their priorities such that they hold so much geopolitical power and influence